Well, looks like OBS just needed a restart. Oof. I don't know what was going on, but we are here. It is Wednesday, and apparently it is a Monday in disguise. Darn those Mondays, sneaking in with their stealth rolls.
You know...
Woo! Yep, we are.
You got an update late last night for Windows and everything, which could have caused an issue this morning. We should have tested. On to the next.
On to the next.
We've got a lot of interesting stuff.
We
this
do.
morning.
If for those of you who are not familiar with Crystal Mason, she was the one who got arrested for voter fraud because she casted a vote because she's a felon, and that's illegal. Well, she tried to appeal it, and the judge went, petition not heard, case dismissed. You're still, you're still screwed. You voted while you were a felon. That's voter fraud. No, thank you. So that happened. And I'm sure we all remember the FBI guy who was dancing in a club, did a backflip, dropped his service weapon, went to pick it up, discharged it, and shot somebody in the leg. Well, he's been charged with assault.
I could add more charges to that. Reckless conduct, reckless endangerment, failure to control his weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the trigger control. I mean, come on, please. You're sitting there.
Control of your actions and everything. Why was he locked, cocked, and ready to rock?
Yeah, exactly. Assault was a deadly dance move. Being an idiot in general, exactly.
Look, I'm not saying that we should outlaw stupidity, but if we did, there would be some folks that would get life.
Exactly. So we have a Hunley and a Laura Bones. A good afternoon to the two of you since you're across the pond. We have a good morning to a Mezzo, a Neilk, a Panina, a Casual Callie, a Commander Root, an Electrical Skateboard, a Goddess Bree, a GXG Gares, Rude Boy, Sara Luna, VNK, and Virgo Praz in the chat, as well as a Neilk lurking about. So good morning, everybody. This is, it's Wednesday, June 13th. Apparently, it feels like a Monday because OBS decided it was going to be laggy for a little bit.
Okay,
and a good evening,
I just have to say something to Callie right now.
Yeah.
It's all your fault. I'm going to have to sit through the end segment of this, and it's all your fault. I love you, but this is your fault. Yes.
And, it is Wednesday, so, after the video recommendations and everything, we have Cancer Wednesday, where we go through a cancerous article, and I read it in an overly dramatic fashion. He's already cringing. And it's Mezzo's birthday. Good morning and happy birthday, Mezzo. May you spoil the living crap out of yourself.
Yes, congratulations on the day of your hatching.
Yeah. Yeah, Callie, once you start getting hundreds of viewers, you're going to need a sideshow just to say hi to everyone.
We'll just start earlier, which means she's going to have to get up at least an hour earlier.
Monday's the stepchild nobody wants. Tuesday's the sister of the stepchild nobody wants. Wednesday is that day nobody wants to face, but once you get over it, it just smoothly slides past Thursday into Friday.
No, it doesn't.
Well, depending on the Thursday.
And that's right, folks. Don't forget, tomorrow and everything, it's not Throwback Thursday. It is Throat Punch Thursday.
Right? It's supposed to bust a move, not bust a cap. Exactly.
That's right.
And as we were keeping an eye on it, and even though we don't have a story to report, the judge ruled that AT&T and Time Warner can merge. So AT&T has acquired Time Warner, which both of us think, in our opinion, is one hell of a monopoly.
It is.
It should have been broken up into different things. They shouldn't have been able to acquire the whole thing.
Look. AT&T did this before. Well, Bell Telephone and Telegraph did this before and everything. And it lasted a very short time before somebody stepped in and said, no. And it's going to happen again. Mm-hmm. But this time when they break it up, it's going to be ugly, and it's going to cause a massive amount of competition.
It is. Mezzo, AT, and Time Warner, yep. Remember Bell Phone and the fact they had to break them up? Yeah, not fun. Yeah, they're going to have to be, because they're getting too big. Them and Disney are acquiring a lot of these properties, a lot of these other companies, and they're in dangerous territory right now, especially AT&T with its acquisition of Time Warner. This is, to me, it has crossed monopoly barriers.
Well, yeah, now you're leaving people and everything like Goddess Bree in the chat and everything. She has one provider in her state now.
Yeah.
One. Can't do that.
No.
That's monopolizing an
Yeah,
area.
it is. It is. Most definitely. You assume they're going to try and acquire each other. Yeah, we have.
I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for another. They shut down Swift Transportation. and
Morning,
everything.
savvy artist.
They can no longer acquire large companies and everything. They have a hard time acquiring smaller companies now because they're a mega carrier.
Mm-hmm. And Goddess Bree says, and with Charter and Time Warner basically merged, you add AT&T, you have 3 of the 4 biggest ones altogether. Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And they cover a lot of area.
They do. They cover a ton of area. I mean, it's getting to the point where our options are limited to these huge companies when there's over 2,500 medium and smaller companies that are trying to break into the broadband business, and they can't because they're being choked out due to the net neutrality.
Yep.
And this is what we were trying to explain to people on our 2-hour stream that night about what net neutrality was. Because without the Federal Trade Commission's teeth in going after these companies to enforce these antitrust laws,
the FCC can't do squat.
No, the FCC can't do squat. They're supposed to work hand in hand. And the net neutrality, what they did was the
FCC says you can and cannot say these things on air. We can police you for that and everything. We can tell you, you can't do this.
Yeah.
And everything. The
No
FCC,
nip slips.
Yeah, the FCC says if you do this, we're going to fine you.
Right.
If you do it again, we're going to arrest you.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Mm-hmm.
It's we've gone from a slap on the wrist to there's jail time associated with this if you keep screwing up.
And there's one thing I forgot to do, so let me go ahead and fix that because I forgot. I'm in a time warp with the date. Let's do the time warp again.
Never mind.
God damn it. All right, everyone here
In
uses
stereo
Verizon or the Cricket Straight Talk phone services.
Yeah.
I mean, it's viable. You can do that. I mean, here we have Metro PCS, which a lot of us have nicknamed Metro piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
We have T-Mobile, AT&T. We got all the major carriers and a lot of the minor ones. We got Straight Talk, the one that is afforded or offered through Walmart.
Yeah. Walmart's got Straight Talk just about everywhere and everything Straight Talk, and it will either use the Verizon, T-Mobile, primarily those two different types of towers and everything depending on the phone and sometimes the area that you're in.
Yeah. All right, let's get on with our tweets this morning. The first one is out of the Department of Justice. Chief Information Officer Joseph Klimowitz delivers keynote remarks at the Federal Computer Week Digital Transformation event. I'm going to read a couple of those keynotes. It is a rather long speech, so we're not going to do the whole thing. I will, however, put that link in the live chat.
Turn on computer. Make sure computer is plugged in.
You're bad.
Oh.
Use is bad.
Well, those are keynotes.
Yes, those are keynotes, sweetheart. Those are keynotes. Those are things that you have to do to get the computer running. All right, here we go. Let me see. I am honored.
Does it recognize the network? Computer, this is the network. Network, this is a computer.
We are living in an exciting and challenging time in the federal government. Technology is rapidly changing. Our workforce is more mobile now than ever. Every device is connected to the internet. Artificial intelligence is embedded into everything. Data is growing exponentially, and most is encrypted. I like how he said most is encrypted.
Yeah.
Cyber attacks are more sophisticated than ever. Budgets are constrained, and yet customer expectations remain high. Well, hell yeah. Further complicating the situation, roughly 80% of the department's IT budget is spent on operating and maintaining legacy systems. And I'm sure Goddess Bree will explain to us what a legacy system is. These legacy systems have most likely missed whole generations of technology advancements and contain inherent vulnerabilities, increasing the agency's attack surface area. I'm excited about all the initiatives we are seeing from the White House and support from the Hill that provide CIOs the opportunity to address these challenges and head on.
Yeah, you got to preset something.
Yep.
I think.
I'm a legacy system.
Legacy system and everything. Okay, I'm gonna give you the biggest one out there right now and everything. Workstation.
Yeah. Okay.
Windows NT for workstation and everything. It's the biggest legacy system out there. A lot of places use it. It's the easiest one to hack. Do not ask me how I know this.
I'm not.
I mean,
yeah.
They get it because they can get it in bulk. It's cheap.
Yeah.
They don't have to, but they still charge the taxpayers, $150,000 for one copy of the thing, but.
Yeah, it includes.
There's no secretive thing going on with the government.
No. It includes the president's management agenda focus on modernizing IT, implementing a robust and integrated federal approach to data management and use, reskilling and redeploying the current workforce, and recruiting top talent to support mission needs, which is all failure if you let people slip through the cracks. Gun shooters, school shooters. Hello. Moving on. Within the Department of Justice, we view modernization as a continuous evolution with the goal of creating additional integrated services while aligning IT with the mission and ever-changing business needs. However, digital transformation is much more than IT modernization. If we were to just modernize legacy technology and processes, we would miss huge opportunities and revolutionize the way things are done. 2 weeks ago, I was out on the West Coast where I saw firsthand how 3D printing can fundamentally change manufacturing. For example, we will be able to simultaneously print and combine components that used to be done separately. Somebody didn't edit this very well. So that's a little bit of the keynote speech there. And see, I think the 3D printers are really cool. The problem is, the more you automate something, the more you modernize something, the more you computerize manufacturing, the more you're getting rid of the human equivalent, which means more jobs are going to be lost in the long run, unless you know how to keep that particular automated system up to date and running. Okay, out of the FBI, Mississippi. Oh, here we go. Mississippi physician sentenced to over 3 years in prison for role in $3 million compounding pharmacy fraud.
Good. The news hound approves.
The news hound, yes, the news hound approves. Let me see. Yes, step 1, when a suspect is running away, don't blow them away. You still need people to quality control and repair. Yeah. I'm just, I'm more concerned for the manufacturers than the upkeepers.
Panina's only half right. The first and everything, you discharge 3 rounds from your weapon, your sidearm. As the subject is going down, you say stop.
No, that was Hunley. That was Hunley.
It doesn't matter. Same response and everything. You shoot 3 times and then scream out, stop or I'll shoot.
Yeah. Casual Cali. Yeah, but one guy can fix multiple machines, so there's still less people involved, I guess. Yeah. Yep, peekaboo puppy. Yep, that's our news hound.
Yes, that is the news hound.
A Biloxi, Mississippi physician was sentenced today to 42 months in prison for his involvement in a $3 million compounding pharmacy fraud scheme. Acting assistant. Okay, this is the names of everybody that brought this forward, so I'm going to skip that because it sounds like I'm doing a roll call. Albert Diaz, MD, was sentenced by the U.S. District Judge Keith Starrett of the Southern District of Mississippi. Restitution to TRICARE and other insurance companies will be determined at a later date. On March 2nd, after a 5-day jury trial, Diaz was convicted of 1 count of conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud and wire fraud, 4 counts of wire fraud, 1 count of conspiracy to distribute and dispense a controlled substance. Nope, we haven't gotten into the news yet. We're still going through the tweets. 4 counts of distributing and dispensing a controlled substance, 1 count of conspiracy to falsify records in a federal investigation, and 5 counts of falsification of records in a federal investigation. Boy was busy. Morning, rhetorical. Let's see here. According to evidence presented at trial, between 2014 and 2015, Diaz participated in a scheme to defraud TRICARE and other insurance companies by prescribing medically unnecessary compounded medications, some of which included ketamine, a controlled substance, to individuals he had not examined. The evidence further demonstrated that, based on the prescription signed by Diaz, Advantage Pharmacy in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, dispensed these medically unnecessary compounded medications and sought and received reimbursement from TRICARE and other insurance companies totaling more than $3 million. Morning, Jacob. No, not really. The trial evidence further demonstrated that in response to a TRICARE audit, Diaz falsified patient records to make it appear as though he had examined patients before prescribing the medications. So there you have it. And again, this is the roll call of the people who found him doing it and who brought him forward and who tried him and everything like that. So the Medicare Fraud Strike Force operates in 9 locations nationwide since its inception in March 2007. The Medicare Fraud Strike Force has charged over 3,500 defendants who collectively have falsely billed the Medicare program for over $12.5 billion. So, there is that. He was busy if he did all that within a year. Holy shit.
Who did it?
The guy that defrauded everybody did it within a year.
Oh, yeah.
He was a busy boy. Next tweet out of War History Online. 1st U.S. Army at Remagen Bridge, Germany, 11th of March, 1945. So there is a shot from the past for you guys if you're interested. Let me see. Yeah, we're hoping you... Are you sick again, Panina? I hope you feel better soon, dear.
She had a bad headache, she said last night. She actually missed her
stream.
Yeah, her stream last night.
Continuing his frustration because of the humidity and everything in the area in New England, Merlin cannot be with us today. He is fighting like hell to get to a part where he can actually be, back online and helping me out and stuff, because every morning I get up and I have to look up these stories and, condense them to just the facts and stuff. I'm always afraid I'm going to start the show late. And some mornings I do because it's hard for me to pick out news stories. There's so many of them.
Yeah, there are multiples, and Merlin is a wizard at it.
Yes, he is.
I look at some stuff and everything, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's good, but
yep. Apparently,
is it relevant to what we need to tell people about?
Yeah, that's my quote. That's my problem. Apparently Macedonia, I've got to look into this. They did a split, and they were trying to agree over a name. So they were having a name issue that they resolved, and the State Department is giving them props for resolving their issue. So I'm going to have to, take a closer look at that. Probably do a blog post to follow up. Merlin is a wizard at it. LOL. Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, we love Merlin. And we miss him when he's not here. His presence is felt and missed when it's not here. And out of the Department of the Interior, out of Utah, the rocky landscape of Canyonlands National Park is otherworldly. The pick is by Brandon
I've
Irving.
there quite a few times in some of my recent travels and everything. It is a lovely, lovely place. One of those places where I wish I had this one along with me so she could snap pictures. There's nowhere for me in a big-ass damn truck to pull over.
You need your ninja photo tape.
Yes.
And there. So yeah, we're going to end with that today. And we also have our This Day in History, which we're going to go through. So let me go ahead and bring that up.
Oh, I love history.
This Day in
History
History.
is good. History is good. It's always good to learn.
Yep. It was done once, and we put it to you guys to a vote. So now we're doing it every day. This Day in History for June 13th, 2018. 1777, the Marquis de Lafayette arrives in the American colonies to help their rebellion against Britain.
That's right. 1863, Confederate forces on their way to Gettysburg clash with Union troops at the Second Battle of Winchester, Virginia.
1920, the Post Office Department rules that children may not be sent by parcel post. Who the fuck who was mailing kids? Oh. Yeah, I just want to know. Do you need that toddler 3-day priority?
Yeah.
Really?
1923.
We have been hosted.
Oh, who hosted?
Thank you, Devon.
Yes.
Thank you for the host, Devon.
All right.
Here we go.
In 1923, the French set a trade barrier between occupied Ruhr and the rest of Germany.
1940, Paris evacuated as the Germans advanced on the city.
Run! Oh. 1943, German spies land on Long Island, New York, and are soon captured.
Whoopsie! 1944, first German V-1 buzz bomb hits London.
That's right. The V-1.
The V-1.
That's right. 1949, installed by the French, Bao Dai enters Saigon to rule Vietnam.
1971, the New York Times begins publishing Pentagon Papers.
1978, Israelis withdraw the last of their invading forces from Lebanon.
1979, Sioux Indians are awarded $105 million in compensation for the 1877 U.S. seizure of the Black Hills in South Dakota.
They're still repaying all that gold. 1983, Pioneer 10, already in space for 11 years, leaves the solar system. I remember that.
Yeah, and if you were born on this day like Mezzo, you share a birthday with, I guess 1740. Gnaeus Julius.
No, that's 40.
40 BC. Agnaeus Julius Agricola, Roman general.
Fanny Burney, English writer.
Winfield Scott, U.S. Army general.
James C. Maxwell, scientist.
William Butler Yeats, Irish poet and dramatist.
Dorothy Leigh Sayers, English detective writer, creator of Lord Peter Wimsey.
Mark Van Doren, American poet, writer, and educator.
Harold Red Grange, American football player.
So there is your This Day in History, including with historical births. And we've got, let me see, your history in the making, Mezzo. Yeah, my gran referred to the buzz bombs as annoying shits.
Let's face it, during the Blitz, during the German Blitz of London and everything, it was literally they were firing back everything, including kitchen sinks.
Yeah.
I mean, they were repurposing everything to shoot back and drop bombs on Germany, and it was a bad time for England.
Mm-hmm. And Mezzo brings up that he's also a writer, or he's trying to be. There's an idea I've had in the works for a stream, but I don't know if too many people would be interested in this. Seeing the writing process at work in not only putting together the news stories, but actually writing fiction. Kind of like a writer's workshop stream.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with that, actually, and everything, especially some of the fun stuff.
Yeah.
There is fun stuff and everything. You know, you could do a stream on creating a short story, getting impromptu prompts from that and everything, and then publish it on the blog later on, just as, you know, something fun to do.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about doing that, but I don't know how well it would be received in the Twitch community, because it is something that is creative. It would be an IRL stream. It would involve the people in the live chat. I find the creative writing process rather interesting. Of course, I tend to do it backwards, because I tend to start the story. This is how my ADD works. I tend to start writing a story, go back, reread it, start finding inconsistencies, and then do an outline. Mm-hmm. To correct the inconsistencies and edit the story, and then outline from there on out. So some people would say it's backwards, but there's an outline in there somewhere. So and don't forget, all my streams are shill streams. So exclamation shill shouts out your Twitch channel, and don't be afraid to copy and paste your YouTube channel in the live chat. I like to help people as much as possible. And so we're going to do this. We're on to this that time. We gotta do the news. I know.
Here and everything, it's not the weather that we want, but it's the weather we're stuck with.
Yep, and because I drank too much coffee on an empty stomach, I gotta,
Yeah, well, you go and handle that. I will handle this. All right, everybody, let's get this started. The short-range forecast discussion, the National Weather Center Prediction Center, College Park, Maryland. Valid today through Friday. Severe thunderstorms are possible across the Northeast today and likely across the Northern Plains Thursday and Friday. Mad Friday. Heavy rain and flash flooding possible for portions of the central U.S. and the lower Ohio Valley today. Upper Midwest Thursday and Friday, and southern Arizona on Friday. Southern Arizona, you might get some rain. Heat wave to continue for portions of the Southwest. No kidding. With a warming trend expected across the Intermountain West and the central U.S. It's going to get warm. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will persist across much of the Central Plains, the Deep South, and the Ohio Valley. Ahead of a frontal boundary tracking slowly to the east, the boundary will provide a focus for heavier rainfall and strong to severe thunderstorms, particularly across portions of the lower Ohio Valley and the Central Plains. Slow storm movement will increase the threat for heavy rainfall and flooding. WPC has slight risks for excessive rainfall, flash flooding, highlighted across these regions today. Strong to severe thunderstorms will be possible for much of the Northwest. Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk for severe weather for this sector of the U.S. A frontal system will cross through the Rockies and exit into the northern high plains over the next few days, which will provide focus for strong convection across the northern plains. The Storm Prediction Center has much of North Dakota and western Minnesota and a slight risk with an enhanced risk over central North Dakota through Friday. Please refer to the SPC page for additional information on the risk for severe weather. Persistent ridging in the upper levels will keep summer heat locked in across the southwest with afternoon highs in the 90s and low 100s, likely through Wednesday. These values are as much as 10 degrees above normal for this time of year, and excessive heat warnings are in effect across parts of southern Arizona, eastern California, and far southern Nevada. Temperatures are expected to moderate to near or below normal by Thursday as upper ridging shifts eastward. Elsewhere, temperatures across the central U.S. and Intermountain West will also be 10 to 15 degrees above normal ahead of a frontal boundary entering the Pacific Northwest by Wednesday. Moisture from Hurricane Bud is making its way northward through western Mexico. Portions of southern Arizona will begin to have rain associated with this tropical system by Thursday, with more coverage by Friday.
And for those of you keeping an eye on Hurricane Bud, and yes, I pronounce it like the Cosby Show, Bud. It's Bud. He's been downgraded to a Category 1. So, he's losing his steam, so to speak. Here is the weather map for the day. As you can see, this wonderful circle of dotted tan lines is enveloping more and more of the United States. And
most of our listeners are going to be getting rain, unless you're in England.
Yeah, unless you're in England. With severe thunderstorms possible around in the northeast portion of the United States. With rain over here off to the northwest, and that little blue line is rain and snow mix in June. I'm just going to leave that there.
Yeah, we're just going to leave that there. So much for that global warming you guys keep talking about.
No, it's climate change.
Anyhow, for Jacob, since he always asks, Jacob, you're probably going to be dealing with rain and thunderstorms today down in Louisiana.
Yeah.
So my personal thing, my personal suggestion for Jacob and everything, grab an overstuffed po' boy. A big bowl of gumbo with a side of etouffee and everything.
And overnight it to us.
Have that and everything and chase it all down with cafe au lait and a beignet.
Ah, yeah, exactly.
There we go.
And
in other words, stay inside.
Here is the temperature map. As you can see, we're still pretty temperate here between the 80s and 90s, but with the humidity, we'll be sweating buckets by the time we get to our
it's going to be horrible.
The further up we go, the cooler it gets, ranging to the 70s and 80s, but still warmer than, has been for the past couple of months. So please be careful of that. And you have temperatures in the hundreds over here in Nevada and Southern California, so please, New Mexico and all you people out west, be careful with the heat.
Jacob, upgrades from scuba gear to a boat with a top on
it. Exactly. She's gonna be, like I said, if any of you guys see Noah, shun him our way, will you? I hear he has some killer boat building skills, but I haven't been able to find the guy yet. Alright, here we go. And the news, which apparently doesn't want to show up until we do this. Alright, here we go. Yep, more fallout from, if those of you need a refresher, Nassar is that doctor who sexually molested all of those female gymnasts, got caught, and this is still in the aftermath of all that.
Oh, yeah.
Larry Nassar, the doctor who molested several female gymnasts, has inspired 2 bills in Michigan that have been signed into law by Lieutenant Governor Brian Kelly. Before the bills passed, you could file a lawsuit unless the minor victim turned 19. The updated law has pushed the age limit to the 28th birthday, or 3 years from when they realize they have been abused. This will also allow Nassar's victims to have a 90-day retroactive window to sue. Well, that's good. Let me see. The Michigan State's $500 million settlement had the Nassar's accusers agree to drop support for a law that would have given immunity to those who were negligent in reporting sexual misconduct to the authorities. Cali enacted the bill due to the fact that Governor Snyder was out of the state. The other measure that was signed into law, which gives prosecutors 15 years or until the victim's 28th birthday to file charges in second or third degree sexual conduct cases, has also been passed. I gotta edit this. The time limit for those cases before the new law was 10 years or a victim's 21st birthday, whichever's longer. Charges can now be filed at any time if there's DNA evidence. There are other Nassar-style bills coming up for vote, but they probably will not get passed until September due to a summer adjournment. So there we have some good news is coming out of this. In other words, they have elongated the statute of limitations on all 3 of their grades of sexual misconduct. And they will hold responsible those they consider are negligent. In other words, if these were reported and nothing was done about them, that is negligence. And if they can prove that negligence, they can be sued for that negligence and brought up on charges. As it should be.
As it should be.
Because if somebody comes to you and says, so-and-so did this to me, and you turn a blind eye to it, to me, you're as culpable as the person who actually did it.
Accessory after the fact.
Mm-hmm. I have the power. So there's that. And here is the story that Rhetorical was asking for. Not 2, but 3.
This is something that
I'm gonna let you read
this
it.
is something I told Maddie about months ago while I was actually in California.
And we covered the preliminaries for it, too.
And everything. And it was just... I'm sorry, I find it funny.
Yeah.
I agree with it wholeheartedly. And everything. Northern California does not like the way Los Angeles governs its chooses for them and everything. But here we go. California 3-way split.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a proposal on the midterm ballot for Californians in November after Tim Draper got enough signatures to include a proposal that would split the large state into 3 smaller states.
Not 2, y'all, but 3.
California, Northern California, and Mexico. Southern California. The breakup proposal, if it passes, will need congressional approval and could be challenged in court. The states would have roughly the same population.
Yeah.
The last time a proposal like this
was put forth
was 1859. But Congress did not move forward with it. There was a petition in 2012 and 2014, but many of the signatures were invalidated by election officials.
So this has been going on since 1859.
Yeah.
And now, 2012 and 2014, and now we've got this one.
Here's the thing. California proper is going to encompass things like, if I'm not mistaken, like San Francisco and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Northern California, of course, will have basically, I think it's Silicon Valley and those things like that, Sacramento and those things and everything. Southern California, biggest thing in Southern Cali, of course, is San Diego.
Yeah.
It's basically and everything, the Southern California is going to be home to all of the sanctuary cities, which we can just, exclude them from the continental United States.
We have bumped into a lot of conservative people over in California that are completely disgusted with how the government's being run in the state, and I think a lot of them are behind this 3-way split. There are a lot of things involved if Congress does approve it and it is split into 3 different states, is how many representatives will be from each of the new states.
They will probably have equal representation.
Probably. So,
I'm looking at equal representation for all 3. California is a large landmass. Basically, I actually think it would be a good thing. The state of California in general has a whole lot of push and sway when it comes to elections.
Yes.
And everything, but not everybody agrees with those.
They would also have to break up the electoral votes too.
Oh yes, that will absolutely happen.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry as I can be for Los Angeles and those areas and everything. Your representation ain't gonna mean shit.
Cali, hipster land, homeless land in Mexico. Well, it was there are a lot, like I said, there are a lot of conservatives in California that are very disgruntled about how everything is being handled.
Northern California has a lot of conservatives.
Being a little more middle of the road, this is what happens when you don't use your voice loud enough. Because a lot of the turnout that came from California wasn't the conservative voices. It was the liberal voices drowning out the conservative voices. Mm-hmm. This is why I keep saying your voice counts. Because I believe if the conservatives would have spoken up, it wouldn't have turned into a Democratic state that quickly.
Here's the thing. The problem is, Northern California, they cast their votes all day long and everything, and it doesn't mean shit because of the populace of, say, Los Angeles,
Hollywood,
yeah. And San Francisco. They just drown everybody out, and everything. The hell with what everybody else in the state might want, and everything. It has to be their way. Yeah. They want it their way.
It'll still be interesting to see what happens after, if Congress decides to approve this. So we will be keeping an eye on this if it proceeds. Okay. Primary election results from the 5 states that were mentioned yesterday. Move this over to make sure I'm getting it centered.
And this is one that puts a smile on my face.
South Carolina, Representative Mark Sanford has lost the primary, making him the second incumbent to lose one. He was defeated by Representative Katie Harrington. Governor Henry McMaster was forced into a runoff for June 26th. McMaster will have to go against John Warren, a Greenville businessman. In Virginia, Corey Stewart will face Senator Tim Kaine. Stewart was the top aide to the Trump campaign. He spoke against the destruction of Confederate monuments. Democratic State Senator Jennifer Wexton won the 6-way primary, challenging Barbara Comstock. Wexton is a proponent of the ban of assault weapons. Ooh, boo. 2 more women are nominated in the district that includes Virginia Beach, which is Abigail Spanberger and Elaine Luria. In Maine, there is a new ballot system the state had to contend with. Ranked choice voting, which lets voters rank the candidates from first to last. This was designed to slow the counting of the votes. Sean Moody won the GOP nomination. There's still more tabulations needed to name the Democratic nominee, with last place candidates will be out of the race. So they completely changed the way they're voting here. There were no primaries for these states. Senator Dean Heller seeks re-election. Sharon Angle lost her challenge to Representative Mark Amodei. And yes, getting the nominee for Nevada that I didn't type here was the pimp in charge. The person in a management position. Mr. Hoff, Dennis Hoff, actually got the nomination for Nevada for his state legislature because he wants to fight the upcoming legislation in his state to make legal prostitution illegal.
Right.
So he was one for the pimps. I never thought I'd be saying that on a news show, but that's one for the it's one for the pimps.
Pimpin' ain't easy.
Sigh. All right, and the last story of the morning.
I'm just wondering and everything. Is he going to walk into the legislature on day one and everything, and just say something bold and everything like, "Bitch, better have my money."
Yep. Bad jokes for the win. Sorry. Sorry. All right, immigration votes looming, and I'll let you take this one.
A late-night negotiation by Senator Paul Ryan led him promising to hold high-stakes votes on immigration next week. This was after he was unable to garner the 218 votes needed to force the House into action on bipartisan measures aimed at minors brought illegally into the country. If the votes had not been too short, they would have gotten votes on DACA. Speaker Ryan had been trying to avoid the issue, but now is forced into presenting a detailed plan for a conference next week. It should have already been done. The official statement from Ashley Strong, a Ryan spokeswoman, said, "Members across the Republican conference have negotiated directly and in good faith with each other for several weeks. And, as a result, the House will consider 2 bills next week that will avert the discharge petition and resolve the border security and immigration issues." Under the rules of the House, the deadline would have forced the votes for this month anyway. A discharge petition, according to Wiki, is a means of bringing a bill out of committee and to the floor for consideration without a report from the committee by discharging the committee from further consideration of a bill or resolution. What this simply means is if they would have gotten the 218 votes, the bills would have never left the committee because it would not have to be reported. What?
Yeah.
These types of petitions are rare. What it means in this case is that the committee's hand is forced, and they all have on hand is an
what they have on hand is an unfinished compromise bill.
Right now we have a framework of a bill, and there's no legislative text. Representative Mark Meadows of North Carolina has stated there's a whole lot that needs to still be worked out with that, but trying to get signatures needed. Moderates were trying to protect dreamers who are currently shielded from deportation because of DACA.
Yeah. You can tell I was half asleep when I was trying to write that one. It will be edited for the blog post for tomorrow. But yeah, so DACA is still in contention. There's 2 bills coming up next week for immigration and border safety. And we've covered this before, how DACA was actually illegal because of, Obama's fast and loose actions with his pens. These are all minors that were brought here by their parents. They've had plenty of time, in my opinion.
The only reason he signed that to begin with was to protect give the Democrats and everything more people that would vote for them. That's the only reason.
Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription, Hunley. Love you, dude. Thank you very much.
This is the only reason that Obama did a lot of these things and everything. He was trying to shield the illegals and give them access to the polls and everything, so they would only vote Democrat.
Yeah. And these kids have had plenty of time to become American citizens because a lot of these kids are now in college, which means they're of age to actually go through the process to be a legal citizen and stop bitching about DACA.
Yeah. Well, because my freebies.
Yeah, my freebies.
My free college education and free schooling and everything because I'm a dreamer.
Americans
You're
are dreamers
felon.
too. Americans are dreamers too, yo.
Yeah, look, they're felons.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
Not trying to be mean, not trying to be harsh and everything, just stating a harsh fact. The fact of the matter is they were brought here illegally, they're staying here illegally and everything. They, along with their parents, are felons. They're actively committing a felony.
Yeah, Sora Luna. Yeah, but being illegal is what makes them special, and they boast about it. Exactly, that's the problem. They're boasting about it. And Rhetorical, our own Arthur says, I know a DACA recipient who's around 40. See, that's ridiculous.
I need a burlap sack.
Well, okay, he has a green card. All right.
Okay, well, see, that's not a...
That's different.
That's different. He went through the thing and everything. That's not what we're talking about.
Well, there's the thought police for Maddie and Ronan. I know, but you guys that have followed me over from YouTube, you know my stances on illegal immigration. Okay? My parents came here and became naturalized citizens. If they can do it, there's no reason why everybody that comes here can't do it. Okay? If you're going through the steps of becoming a citizen of the United States legally, then I commend you and I welcome you with open arms.
Sure
Welcome
enough.
to the United States of America. But if the only way that you are coming here, the only reason you're coming here is to get a job under the table, be paid under the table, and then take that money out of our economy to take it back to your family in your country, we don't need you.
Yeah.
We don't need you.
Hunley, from what I understand and everything, you actually have to actively sub to a channel each month.
Yeah, if it's a Twitch Prime from Amazon, if it's that free one from Amazon, you have to stay on top of it and resub every month.
Yeah.
Yeah, the steps aren't even that bad for legal immigration. It just takes time and verification. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I reported last week that a green card from the time that you petition to get one to the time that you get one is about 60 days, 6 months.
It's about 6 months.
It's about 6 months. So it's not, it takes time, but it's not that hard to do.
It does take time and everything. You just need to go through the steps and everything, I keep, y'all have to forgive me and everything, I flash back to stuff when welfare was implemented and everything, and the reasons it was implemented and pursued so hard by the Democratic Party.
Yeah. Well, it's like I remember one of my friends. I was with her. She is disabled, and she without prescription drugs, she has no quality of life, which is sad. And I went with her to the food stamp office so she could renew her food stamps. And while we were there, we ran into some illegal citizens, and they literally asked the person in the window if they had to be legal to receive food stamps. And the person in the window, in all seriousness, looked back at them and said, the only one of the things that you need to qualify is having been residing in the same address for 24 months.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous to me. And working under the table means you don't have to report that income.
Yeah.
Because there's two ways that they get income in this country if they're here illegally, working illegally. They, A, either get paid under the table, or B, they steal somebody's identity, and about 5 to 15 people are using the same Social Security number. Which totally screws up the person with the Social Security number.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so let's go on to... We do have somebody that's on the road to affiliate this morning, so let's go ahead and move on to that, shall we?
We absolutely do, and everything. Stumbled across him and everything, and he made the announcement while I was over in Spock's Discord.
Yep, so let's go ahead and roll that transition and get into it.
Let's do this.
Not showing up because, restarts. Okay, hang on. There we are.
There we go.
Right,
and everything. And this is GXG Aeris.
Yep, and he's only got 22 followers, so I'm going to put this link in here. He has been playing Fortnite, but he is a small Twitch streamer. We got to do what we can to get him to that 50 with an average of 3 viewers per stream.
Right.
So please, guys, let's pull together. All right, put Shield Draconeth in here, Panina, because I'm only one person, and there's over 2,000 people in Spock's Discord. That's a lot of people to sort through to find people that are on the road to affiliate.
Yes, and let's show Draconeth some love as well and everything.
Yep.
And Panina, you're supposed to let us know about this.
Yeah, no kidding. Let me see. Let's see if I spelt that right. No, I did not. See if that works. There we go. There we are. There he is, guys. He's another one on the road to affiliate. So now we're going to move on to the shout-outs for the morning. Do-do-do-do-do.
I don't know what we're yelling about! Loud noises!
I am so slow on the trigger this morning, it's pitiful. No pause. And you're playing an ad. You son of a... Beep! Alright, first one. He usually does really funny, the biggest problem with, but this time Alex Meyers took a more serious note when he delved into 13 Reasons Why for Season 2. For those of you that aren't familiar with 13 Reasons Why, it is, I believe, an Amazon exclusive, Amazon or Netflix exclusive series about this girl who committed suicide, and throughout the first season was had somebody distributing cassette tapes about the people that she blamed for her suicide. And season 2 is basically, these kids going on trial, telling their accounts and their sides of the stories. And he does a very serious, in-depth look into season 2 and the series as a whole, and why, even though this is a subject that should be talked about, they didn't go about it in the right way.
Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. Okay, cool. Netflix.
Thanks,
I know
guys.
it was one or the other.
Yeah, we don't really follow a lot of Netflix.
Well, some people say it glorifies suicide. Some people say it misrepresents suicidal people. There's lots of negative buzz going around for this Netflix series. It did start out as a book, according to Ren. I first heard about it through reading Ren, because she did a stream talking about this particular series and how she didn't like how the series was presented and according to the book, because she read the book. Yeah. She read the book, and she compared the book to the first season of the show, and she said it completely misrepresents the book. Also, too, he does... And this is his influencer link to this organization that helps people that are depressed and may have suicidal tendencies. So please, it's a campaign. Please check it out and please help him out with that. If you click it, it should click through and give you all the information for that. Along with that, here is the link to his video. Welcome to your tape. Yeah, Suicide is a very serious issue.
Yeah.
Some people treat it rather flippantly, but it isn't. When you get to the point in your depression where you think that your friends and family will be better off if you're no longer around, that's a serious issue. It's not, to them, it's not a selfish decision. To them, they think they're improving the lives of the people around them because they've become a burden to their friends and family. Whether through not knowing how to bring up why they're depressed or not being able to cope with their depression, they have come to this decision. And it is a very grave decision and a very permanent decision to come to. See you later. Hey, Mad Muzz.
Hey,
so,
Mad Muzz.
you know, getting the help you need when you're depressed or you're having suicidal thoughts is very important. Because your friends and your family do love you an awful lot. And you never know where help's going to come from unless you reach out to people. You're never a burden to your friends and family. Next video recommendation is out of Better Than Food book reviews. This guy does great book reviews. Pinocchio-Carlo Collodi book review. He goes into a history of how the book was written. Did you realize it wasn't a book to begin with? Yeah.
What?
They were Pinocchio. It was actually episodal inserts on a newspaper that somebody compiled, that he wound up compiling into a book. So this is very, very interesting indeed. From the history to the book itself, he actually reads some excerpts from the book, and he actually compares the book to the Disney movie Pinocchio. So it is very good. Yeah, but suicidal ideation isn't just a depression issue. Oh, the tales I could tell. Yeah. The people come up with lots of different reasons to commit suicide. It's a very serious issue.
Not only is it a serious issue and everything, there are a broad range of things that lead to it and everything.
Yeah.
Chronic pain, chronic illness, financing.
Yeah. Terminal illnesses.
Terminal illnesses and everything. A lot of financial woes lead to it. I go back to the Great Depression when the stock market took its big plunge, and all those brokers were throwing themselves out of windows.
Yeah. And from the channel who doesn't even take itself seriously, and we did listen to this today.
Yes.
Everything wrong with Ratatouille in 15 minutes or less, and they do it in their expected, absolutely comical way. And they do point out things, as they often do, that you don't catch when you're watching the movie. We love these guys. We absolutely love these guys. So check that out. And the last video is from our favorite retired cop.
Yep.
Donut Operator. Twitter is stupid. Here's an excerpt from his Twitch stream where he goes through his Twitter feed and the people that he was arguing with on his Twitter feed. Yeah, I watched it already. He is absolutely hilarious. And when he gets subscriptions, they pop up in the upper right hand corner over here, and you hear "Donut." So yeah, watch that. I love watching his videos.
I do too.
They're really, really good.
And some of the funniest ones that you will ever see. Watch any of the ones that are considered borks and nom-noms.
Yep.
And that's all about canine takedowns and everything. But yeah, this one, they're complaining and everything. The dog didn't let go when he wanted. That's because the dog's not trained to let go.
Exactly.
They live to bite.
The bork is not trained to let go.
No, he wants his nom-nom.
Hunley. Ahem. Yep, just wait for my next Twitter fit on the NHS. One that I personally struggled with and still am, and not suicidal, but not to say I haven't thought about it. But for me, it's that life has become so hard that sometimes giving up is an attractive option. But I'm not going to, because I'm lucky enough to have great people around me that can keep me going. And if we have to go to where you are and kick you in the butt, Mad Muzz, we will.
That's right. God damn it, we're going to get out here and have fun.
Yeah.
Go outside and have fun and everything before we kick you right in your
I
little
go
butt.
through bouts where I don't want to get out of bed. I call them the mopes, and I know it's my depression. It runs in our family. And this one will not stop until he's got a smile on my face, and he's made me laugh. and he's gotten me out of bed and moving.
Yes, and none of that fake ass shit either.
No bullshit smiles?
No bullshit
No
smile.
bullshit smiles.
I can tell
All
when
right.
she tries to fake it.
All right, you know what time it is.
What?
It's that time. It is.
What was the number to that suicide prevention?
Hell no, to the no.
And, yeah, that summed it up perfectly.
Pretty much.
Because our cancer from Cali, yeah, time for him to cringe. Women know the difference between rape and bad sex. Surely Germaine Greer does too. By Suzanne Moore from The Guardian. Once she was the best, but as with her latest comments about sexual assault, she seems to have taken to undermining others to get attention. It was weird having to explain Germaine Greer, the morrissey of feminism, to my teenager the other day. My older daughters know who she is. She once made fun of both of their names in a newspaper. One of them, 10 at the time, wrote a letter to the editor to explain that at a primary school you weren't allowed to bully other people because of their names. I'm conflicted about Greer. She was great once. In her pomp in the 1970s, she was alpha. And in the way in which an alpha woman turns into a bully interests me. It seems as if she has never liked other women very much. She attacks them regularly, especially when she wants to get noticed or has a book out. More as a twat. Pardon my Swahili. So her quest is so often misunderstood. The quest is liberation, not equality. This is one way of grasping her lack of solidarity with other women. I feel a rant coming on. She went for me in another country, as I had answered a question incorrectly about whether she had a hysterectomy or not. Her old mate, the author Richard Neville, claimed she did. An evening newspaper phoned me while I had some fish fingers on the go, and I simply didn't know, or care, to be frank. Well, the whereabouts of her womb was not much on my mind. She said nasty stuff about me in this paper, including that I wore fuck-me shoes. I like this woman Greer already. People have made stupid jokes to me about fuck-me socks ever since. It was a bit you are not going out of the house dressed like that. Not for the first time I had heard those sentiments, but it was shocking to hear them from this big feminist, a woman who had posed nude and who wrote the feminist classic, The Female Eunuch, which famously showed a naked female torso hanging from a horizontal pole. So she is like Kanye, said my daughter, as I was trying to put her latest remarks about rape into perspective. As we all know, Kanye West gets a little controversial when an album is about to fall from the sky. I love how she put that. This is the context, then, in which Greer's latest comments must be taken. She has been in the public eye forever and knows that suggesting more lenient penalties for rape will create a fuss. This is what she did at the Hay Festival last week. As ever, there is a kernel of truth in the midst of the egotistical blather. She is right to say that the penis is not a weapon. It isn't. That is why in war, gang rape, ethnic cleansing, and domestic abuse, women are penetrated with bayonets, broken bottles, and guns. I got the sarcasm there. She's a bitch.
Yeah.
She's correct to say that not all rape is violent, but all rape surely involves a threat to violence, and that is why it's not helpful to think of it as bad sex. Okay. All right. First of all, this woman is conflating bad sex, regret sex, with rape, sexual assault, and sodomy. Okay? This woman right here, this woman, this Miss Suzanne Moore, how much you want to bet she ain't been fucked in a good couple of years?
That is no.
Okay? There is a difference, a marked difference. If you get drunk at a party, have sex, wake up the next morning, roll over, and your first thought is, what the fuck did I do? That's regret sex. Okay? That is regret sex. That's not rape. That's not sexual assault. That's regret sex. Period. You can regret having had sex with someone. Okay? You can have sex with someone that doesn't meet up to your opinions or standards of what you thought the sex was going to be. Probably because the guy was peacocking and probably bragging about how good he was in the bed, and then the letdown led you to have a session of bad sex. Bad sex isn't rape, it's disappointing. Yes, I'm going on this rant.
Yes,
Yes, I'm going on
I
this
noticed
rant.
you going
Okay.
on that ramp and everything. Just make sure
Hey,
that I'm not included in this fucking
No,
rant.
you're not. You're not. I mean, you know, bad sex doesn't meet up to the
She
standards
needs more
of
coffee.
the person having. You know, it's not rape. Okay, the coyote morning. Yeah, the coyote ugly morning. Exactly.
The Savage Pack. Dreamy team. Hi.
Hi. Yes, the Savage Pack. Dreamy team. You know, it's just these women that call themselves so-called feminists need to go back to the feminism roots and figure out what it was. It's not man-hating. It's not blaming men for everything on the face of the earth. It's not perpetually being a victim, okay? The original feminist movement was to give us a voice in the polls, to make us equal to men, not necessarily in the industry, but for us to be seen as equals, for our opinions to be valued. That's what it was. Now, when you're out here bitching about every little thing that happens, having your little microaggressions, pitching bitch fits, okay, that's not feminism. That's you being whingy, a whingy, whiny little sex-starved bitch. Okay? That's all that is. A true feminist.
There we go. But history is racist, man.
Right, exactly. History is racist.
No, you know what's racist? You want to know what's racist? Racist is the erasure of history.
Yeah, and unless it opposes their narrative. You know, if being a strong, independent woman means when you come up against an actual obstacle, you find a way to overcome it and move on. You don't stay stuck in the moment. You don't bitch about every little thing that happens. Life is a bitch. And then you move on. Mm-hmm. But if you keep being stuck in these little moments as a woman, the only thing you're going to be is a perpetual victim. You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, tie them fucking boots, and march, because them boots were made for walking, girl. Have your own agency. Own yourself and own your own fucking mistakes.
Support is real in here. You know it.
Making a example of a strong fish who doesn't need no bicycle. Yeah, so slap it like one. Exactly. I mean, these people with this fourth wave intersectional, the only thing they're going to do is wind up eating themselves.
Look, somebody that's brave enough and everything, go grab this woman's hair and everything, bend her over a couch or something out there, and just plow that thing real good and hard.
I mean, it's
might straighten her out a little bit.
I mean, this new wave of
Make sure you
feminism
ask first.
infuriates me because it's fun when Maddie goes on a tear. Hey, Mitch, yep, I'm going on one.
Oh, good Lord, you have no clue.
Oh, my God.
You know the bad part about this, y'all? Y'all really want to know the bad part about this? She gonna be doing this all day.
Oh, probably. Probably.
She's gonna be doing something. She's gonna be doing something. She's gonna stop typing. She's gonna push everything around. She's gonna reach over, light a smoke and everything, and she's just gonna look at me. That still pisses me off. There may be a blog post or two about this.
I mean, you have to, agency is very important. Owning your mistakes, owning what you've done, your accomplishments, your mistakes, all the times you've fallen flat on your face, is what makes you who. What?
Now you're talking about being a responsible member of society.
Exactly.
They don't understand this.
That's because they're too busy in their safe spaces with their fucking Betty Bears, their blankets, and their pacifiers. Oh, I forgot the coloring books with the crayons.
That's right. Well, moving on to the Humble Bundle. Before steam starts seeping out of these absolutely beautiful ears.
Who, me? Yeah. Steam? Nah. Alright, here we go. The Humble Bundle today. Manga to anime. We still got 7 days left. It is a pay what you want bundle.
Ronan, hide your junk. No. She might have to go. She might have to disappear for a little while and everything because I might have to take care of this later.
There we go. Yeah, pay what you want. Yep, $1 or more gets you Agent, Demi-Human, or High Dive. This is volumes 1 through 11 of this particular manga.
Okay.
And a 1 month subscription to this one.
Demi-Human sounds actually.
Yeah. Well, see, the one I'm salivating over.
7 Deadly Sins?
No. Is the one I'm salivating over is the Ghost in the Shell series that they have on this bundle.
Yeah.
I've seen all the movies and TV shows, and I don't have the money to buy the manga. Oh, yeah, the Defrustrator. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. And they even have it over here, and then this is Battle Angel Alita. And they have Ghost
them.
in the Shell Global Neural Network exclusive preview. Oh, my heart, man. That's my anime. It's right up there with Cowboy Bebop. The Hands Make Manga Yokito Yoshiro. In other words, I think that is a how to draw manga. And it goes to the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. The link is in the live chat. And now for those of you that are still with us, this is my passion project. Let me switch over here.
Yes.
Maisie and the Treasure Map. Here is the link to the category to the blog if you want to read the chapters. And what this is by a labor of love. I mean, I am letting you guys vote for what happens next in this story. A lot of people have told me that it reminds them of the Nancy Drew series. Once the book is done, it will go through final edits. It will be published, and all proceeds will go to buildon.org, which is an organization that fights illiteracy.
Yep.
And I need your help getting the word out, getting this link shared, getting the votes on, because voting ends at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Monday evening, so I can get the new chapter out on Tuesday morning after the show. I really want to help fight illiteracy, and if I can, here we go, Laura. Do it now. Laura, I think, has been stuck on this cliffhanger for weeks and months now.
She wants to do that, and the only way it's going to progress, and we really want to progress this story and everything, is if we get some votes. Mm-hmm. And so please catch up on it and everything. That most of the chapters are kind of short and everything. It's a fun read. It's a fun story.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun. I'm having a lot of fun writing this story.
And that's the whole. I mean, it's just like, you know. And Maddie and I and everything, so on some of her writing projects and everything, we bounce stuff off each other all the time and everything. Well, they would do this or they would do that. This guy would probably do this.
Yeah.
And everything, because it's caricatures that we have worked with throughout some of our gaming stuff and everything. And I've been gaming actively since 1974.
Yep. And as you can see, this project has sadly stalled out on August 22nd, 2016. So we really need to breathe. Hey, Wolfie, we really need to breathe life into this project to get it going, get it finished, and get those proceeds rolling in for that charity.
That's right.
And the extra added bonus is you guys get to see the writing process in action when I finish the chapter, because I also record my voice and make a video and upload it to YouTube. So if you guys don't want to read it, you can hear it, but you can't hear the next chapter unless you vote.
That's right.
Because the option with the most votes is my writing prompt for the next chapter. Yep. So I can't wait to see what you guys vote on.
Creative writing in the works.
Yes, most definitely.
It's a lot of fun watching her create some of these stories and everything. It's a joy to watch her be happy while she's doing something.
Oh yeah, I just because of where we're living, I haven't had the chance to do a lot of my hobbies, and I would like to keep this one going.
Let's see who we got.
Let me see if let me scroll down. Oh, let me see who you is. I'm trying to figure out who we're going to raid. Let me see. Okay, another IRL. Ooh, guitar. Oh no, we're gonna pick another one. I know who he is. I know who he is. We're not doing that again. Not that I don't like him. He is kind of chill. Okay, let me see here. Who's doing what here? Let me see. Caveman plays streaming RAW. What is RAW? Ark. I think he's playing Ark. Methinks he's playing Ark.
Playing Ark for 9 viewers.
Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to give him some love. We're gonna have to give him some Team Spock love, y'all.
Team Spock
so
love incoming.
Yep. Alright, here we go. And oh yeah, speaking of Johnny Cash, thank you very much. I'm gonna put this over here, and I'm going to open up a media source and play for you something that is very, very important. It is an announcement for a charity stream coming up on the weekend. A lot of Twitchers do this. So here we go. our charity stream, June 15th. That is Friday, guys. It's Friday, so please
Friday
go
on the
to
15th, and everything's going to have a 24-hour stream.
right. So if you haven't followed Johnny Cash 5, please look for him on Twitch and follow him because it will give you a notification as to when he goes live for this stream.
And you know, let's check it out. Let's give him a hand. Let's spread the word and everything. If you can donate, please donate. Everything is a worthy cause. And everything, you know, and let's get some help. Maybe get some people back up on their feet. Get them some good employment and everything. Please get them a hobby.
Yeah, and he's working with, the proceeds will go to the Broward Partnership, a shelter that gives people a temporary home and help them find jobs and get back home. So it's not a handout, it's a hand up. This charity is a hand up. So please check that out. And on that note, may your coffee ever flow, may your caffeine be ever strong, my friends, and may you have a whimsical, wonderful, and wacky Wednesday. And don't forget, we're rating Caveman Play, so stay in that live chat. It'll automatically flip over.
Okay. Peace out.